Okay, let's talk about how to do full bust adjustments. You need a full bust adjustment if you've chosen your size based on your high bust measurement and your full bust measurement is larger than what's listed in the size chart. So here is the pattern for the front of the Juniper jersey here, and this is the piece that's going to need to be adjusted. So I'm going to suggest that you hold it up to your body and you kind of mark where the fullest point of your bust is. Just put a little dot there for yourself. And then I'm going to show you how you'll adjust that using this half scale model here because it's easier to see what I'm doing. So let's imagine that the bust point is here. And what you're going to want to do then is you want to draw a line from the arm side to that bust point. You want to draw another vertical line straight down from that point. And then you want to draw a horizontal line from that point. Then we're going to cut on these lines. We're going to create some hinges here so we can manipulate the pattern. So you're going to cut up on the vertical line to the point and then angle out to the arm side. Cut as close as you can to the arm side without cutting through the paper. What this does is it creates a hinge so we can manipulate and we can add room in the bust area where it's needed. You're going to do another hinge here by cutting on the horizontal line towards the bust point. But don't cut through the point. This creates another hinge so that we can straighten out that side seam. Now take your full bust measurement and then subtract the full bust measurement for your size on the size chart. That number is the difference and the full bust adjustment that you're going to need to make. So for example, if you're sewing a size small and the largest full bust measurement is 35 inches and your full bust measurement is 36 inches, you're going to need a 1 inch total full bust adjustment. You need to divide that number in two. So if I need a 1 inch total full bust adjustment, I need a 1/2 inch full bust adjustment on the pattern piece because this pattern piece is only half of the front. So I would do 1/2 inch here, 1/2 inch here, that would equal my 1 inch total that I needed. You want to use some other paper to trace your pattern now. And a good option for this is wrapping paper. You can use the back side, the white side of wrapping paper and retrace your new pattern. So what you want to do is spread your pattern so that you have the amount in the vertical cut here that you need to adjust. If we're doing a 1/2 inch adjustment, I want it to be 1/2 inch here. Use those hinges to spread it out. Then I want to use this side hinge here. I need to measure this distance. So I've got 1 inch there in that side dart hinge. What I want to do here is you can either tape your pattern to the paper you're tracing on, or you can retrace. Go up the center front, around the arm side, and around that corner, come around the bottom corner here, and also trace the center front corner. Okay, now I can move my pattern out of the way here and show you these lines. Okay, this was 1 inch. That means I need to move this bottom corner up 1 inch because I still want this piece side seam to match the back side. I don't just want to make the whole thing 1 inch longer. You do need a little bit of extra length and it's going to come into the center front here because you do need that extra length to come out and over the larger bust. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to slide this corner up 1 inch. And I'm going to remark it. And this is going to be the corner I want to use because that way my side seam will still match my back pattern piece. Then the other thing I want to do is you notice that when I hinged all of these, I added width down here, and we don't need width at the waist, we just need extra room in the bust. So I need to take this same corner and I'm going to need to move it in to where the pattern would normally hang. And what that should also be is, if I've got this all hinged out here, you can measure the vertical amount, which should have been 1/2 inch, and then you move your corner in 1/2 inch. So you can do that with a ruler as well. Now I'm ready to trace out my pieces. So I'm going to curve and blend this area here around the bust. I'm going to come down to where my corner should be, and then I'm going to curve and blend again around the bottom. And this is what my full bust adjusted piece should look like. You'll notice that over the bust, I do have some of that extra length so that it can come out and over. And I do have some of the extra width out to this curve here because that's where I need the extra width. But the side seam should still be the same length as your back pattern so that those will still attach, because you didn't need adjustments to the back. The bust is just an adjustment to the front. And this stayed the same length where it attaches to the yoke, because again, that should stay the same. Only the area around the bust should have increased length and width.